it's Nomi. I'm with a Brick Mortar, one of my favorite bands in Colorado Springs. Now you guys are playing tonight at the Black Sheep. Welcome back to Colorado Springs.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
So this is like, what, 4 or 5 times?
Yes.
Something like that.
Around there, yeah.
Seems like we just met
It's our second interview, right?
Yeah.
No, this is like our third or fourth.
Yeah.
Something like that.
You don't even remember anything.
I know, I'm terrible.
No, it's funny because I was talking to my friend Jeremy from the Black Sheep, and he's like, "Aren't you doing an interview though?" I'm like, "I peed on them. They're like mine.
Yeah.
Like, they're my band."
Anytime. What's the cool thing about like doing everything ourselves, because we are independent, we have been for like a year, is that we can do whatever we want.
Which is so mind-blowing. We're going to get right into that right now. You guys just released an EP not long ago.
Yeah.
And it's called Drop. And you were telling me that there is actually a background story to that.
Yeah, the reason it's called Dropped is because
we got dropped.
Yeah, we got dropped. We were on the big label, and you know, they said they were gonna do all this stuff, and then we weren't cool enough, so we got dropped, and they wouldn't give us our songs back for, I don't know, 6 or 7 months. Wouldn't listen to us, and we get an email maybe 2 months after we stopped trying to talk to them because they just weren't answering. And the email says, "Brandon, do you remember when you did that cover for Jimi Hendrix Voodoo Child? We sold it to a movie and we accidentally didn't get you to sign off on it because we're so responsible and we're such a mega corporation." So then we responded very nicely with, "Give us our fucking songs back and, you know, we'll sign it so you can have it." So basically we got these songs back only because of a clerical error with the label.
Right.
So basically we were able to negotiate, which if anyone's ever been signed by a big label and you're a small band, you know that doesn't not happen.
Yeah.
It doesn't. And then they didn't make me sign anything saying I couldn't make fun of them for not
irresponsible.
sending me PDF. You know what I mean? But it was crazy because as a young kid, I listened to a lot of classic rock. Really listened to classic rock, and I didn't really listen to much, except for like rap, classic rock, and weird stuff growing up. And this, getting into, we're here, Jimi Hendrix was a big influence playing, because he kind of did whatever he wanted. He also hated the establishment and his record label and all that. And he was a very forward-thinking person. And he didn't know he was good, he was just good.
Right.
You know? And this actual particular record is him playing at the Atlanta Pop Festival, which was a very unique festival, and it was one of like the last really big festivals of that time. And there's a really good documentary on Showtime about it, actually, and I just watched it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I actually really did. And it was pretty crazy because not that many people really talk about this specific festival, but it was said to be one of his best performances ever. So,
and it's funny how it relates because the song that helped us get our song back was Voodoo Child. So it just happens.
I mean,
that's like perfect.
But when they asked me to cover the song, I was really nervous because covering Jimi Hendrix is like, that's like, you shouldn't do that. Like that's.
Well, we actually just played that song for our sidetrack, and people absolutely loved it. Now you said that's going to be in a movie.
It was already in a preview for the movie Hitman, Agent 47.
Nice.
So yeah, but basically it was crazy because without that clerical error, we probably would not have been able to put out Drop. So that's why we named it Dropped, because of the fact that that happened. And now we have a new single out, Train, and it's doing really well. It's on Alt Nation, and people are tweeting it. Hopefully it'll make the Alt 18 and stuff like that. But it's funny because, you know, when someone counts you down and out, and then you get your stuff back, and then your fans rally behind you, then you get all these radio ads, and you did it without having $1 million.
Right.
Request Train on Alt Nation.
Yes, request Train.
Alt 18.
Hashtag Train. Hashtag Alt 18.
Not the band, our song.
Our song, not the band. Not the
Way
band.
to clarify that, because you don't want to @Train on Twitter.
No, @Alt Nation. Hashtag Train. Hashtag Alt 18. See if we can do it.
And they have to do that through Twitter to be able to vote?
Well, they could do Twitter or they could do Facebook if
Instagram.
they find Instagram. Anything where Alt Nation is, you just got to find their handle. Which I'm sure some of them is Alt Nation and some of them is probably something else.
So make sure you do that because we want to get these guys on the top 18.
Yes.
So do it.
Yes.
So I actually listened to this album whenever I had a fight with my parents. So I was like, Jimmy, I'm angry. My parents grounded me for a weekend.
Well, trust me, I read a book on Jimi Hendrix, and your parents were not as mean as his.
That's so true. So, what albums have influenced you guys? Like, changed your everything? Like, really hit hard for you guys?
Well, like I first started playing the drums when I was in like 5th grade, and that is like when I started listening to bands and actual music, and I wanted to be, you know, alternative, because back then it was either you were alternative, you listened to alternative music,
you had to choose,
or you were
kids
hip-hop,
used to have to choose,
or you had to either pick one or the other, because if you couldn't just listen to one thing or both things, you know. But one of those bands was Silverchair. It's not the album that I want to show.
Couldn't find the album in the record store.
The album is Frog Stomp, but This Will Do is Freak Show. It's their second album. But Silverchair, like the first, like the first time I heard like alternative heavy music, that was my first CD. It was my Frog Stomp was my first CD, and I listened to all the songs. I learned all the drum parts, and like, you know, I'll go out on my deck and set up my drums and play Pure Massacre from Silverchair. You know, so I was like, that was
and
really
your neighbors loved it.
Yeah.
Well, what's funny about your choice is that your choice is, you said you had to choose, right? Your choice was Silverchair and being alternative, and my choice, again and again.
Again and again. What do you want to hear,
Wu-Tang. And of course, this is just the greatest hits. It ain't like the 36 Chambers or nothing like that. You know, it's not. I tried to find, Razor Liquid Swords and all that stuff, but I couldn't find it in the store. But love Wu-Tang, and hip hop is a big influence. The production style of Wu-Tang is pretty much kind of a huge deal for us. Because
it's a big influence on like our
like
samples,
the sounds that we really like. We notice if you put our stuff on, and then you put Wu-Tang on, you listen to some of the samples, you go, oh, that's like gritty and kind of wrong, and you know what I mean. And that's what I loved about the production style of Wu-Tang and hip hop in general, was that there was no rules.
Right.
But John actually was so all. He's got a story about how dorkily alternative he was.
I saw the video for Sweet Dreams Are Made of These by Marilyn Manson.
Oh yeah, I remember that music video.
Completely blew my mind. And then I like got so obsessed with him that I got his whole catalog, you know.
Wait, but your
mom? I wanted to. Oh yeah, there's a couple funny stories surrounding Marilyn Manson. I went and bought a shirt at the mall at Spencer's, right?
I was thinking Hot Topic.
Marilyn Manson on it, right? And I came home and my mom saw I bought the shirt. She's like, "You go return that right now. You can't have that shirt." And I was like, "But Mom, I love Manson."
So listen, so John would sneak out of his house.
Yeah, I would sneak out of my house and change on the side.
You did the girl thing.
Yeah,
you did the girl
because
thing.
I loved you that much, Manson.
But listen,
and
what's crazy? Of course, I'm gonna say it. What's crazy about this, right? Listen, this is crazy because John loved Marilyn Manson growing up so much, and then my brother, he's a filmmaker, and he raised money, same we did the way we did independently, to make his first film. So he's getting all these actors to be in it. He gets a couple of guys from Sons of Anarchy, and then he calls me and he goes, "You're never gonna guess who I got to be the hitman." I was like, "Who?" He's like, "Marilyn Manson."
Yeah,
and I was like, "No way!" And I told John, and he was like, "What?
Like
That's
the
crazy."
10-year-old in me was like freaking out.
Yeah,
you know.
Oh my god!
So really now, like, we have this weird connection to Marilyn Manson through my brother, and we hope one day, for some reason, we're playing a show because like my brother like hangs out with him, and you know, they're basically like finishing up the movie, and he's really excited about acting and going into that. So it's funny. I get like my brother will like text me a picture and just be like. Marilyn Manson. It's just really funny. And that was a funny thing because I remember it was such a big part. So when you asked us to pick records, I was like, I cannot wait for John to pick Marilyn Manson.
Yeah.
It's just funny that you used to change and pack it in the backpack and change, because I think every maybe high school, middle school girl used to do that because they're like, parents would not allow them to wear lipstick or wouldn't allow them to wear a certain outfit.
I painted my nails black one time when I was in safety patrol in 6th grade, and then like all like the little kids like started making fun of me because I had girl stuff on my fingers.
I had a thing called science room.
Science room?
I don't know. It was like you sat in a room. But here's one record that both me and John both really loved because we loved their first stuff, and it's one of those bands that like it's very time period. But me and John both really, really love Korn. The first three records, right?
Are you ready?
Are you ready? Well, no, you gotta admit, like.
Nah, yeah, I mean,
Follow Leader was good. Issues was alright. After that, Like, you know, I
Follow
like it.
yeah. Follow Leader was their last.
But this
really awesome
record is a great record.
I had 127 pictures of Korn stapled to my bedroom wall.
No, you didn't.
I did.
I remember waiting with our friend when we were younger, like for 3 hours. Our friend just to meet John Davis. It was really cool because he actually did come out, and he did, you know, it was real cool to the fans, which was cool.
I met him at this mall near where I live, like when I was super young, and like I was like so like starstruck when I first came up to the line. I was like, oh my god! It's like because at that point, like I had played, like I knew Life Is Peachy, you know, self-titled, like I knew all the drums, like how to play all the songs, you know. And then I go up to Head or Brian or whatever, and I go, I love you guys so much. Like I can play every song on drums, you know. Like, and he goes to like the drummer Dave at the time. He's like, hey Dave, when you're hungover next time, let this kid fill in. You know? So, for like the
John's like,
kid,
that's possible.
Yeah, like
I can totally do it. Be hungover tonight, so I can play for you.
Yeah. So that was. Korn was a big deal.
Now going from like a huge commercial pick for us to a more obscure pick, we had a friend named Dave Shank who is now just awesome, lives in Austin, and he taught us a lot about sampling. And he introduced me to a lot of different obscure electronic music. And Aphex Twin was something that we really liked because, one, his stuff is just, it's different. There's everybody who makes electronic music, then there's Aphex Twin. And I feel like he was always trying to do something totally different. I mean, from the song Film, like that was a really great song. Mm-hmm. Just all the things that he would do. And he messed with the industry so bad. Like I heard a story that when he first I think when he first went to go like send a record in, he sent it in some like 8-foot tube.
What?
Some crazy story of him like doing these things to mess with the industry kind of. And I just always thought he was really great because you need people like that to push the envelope for others, you know?
Absolutely.
And like, you know, not everybody gets to come along and just make things that are so abstract and no one, you know, and be heralded at the same time and keep going and like that. Those sounds have influenced so many things in commercial music and in pop music that people don't realize, you know, because the reason that everything's so different and so daring is because someone did it crazily different, and then someone kind of just
tweaked it or did it this way
or learned from it,
added that to their own music. And
essentially that's what music is anyway in and of itself. But you know, in this regard, like they you know, they helped take it to an extreme to where many people weren't doing it before, you know.
Absolutely.
But yeah.
And that's one of the reasons why I absolutely love you guys as a band, because you know, you get right now there's a trend about like 80s electronic music coming back. Not saying that I'm obsessed with it. I do like it on occasion. And then you have the hard rock where you get the Black Keys where it's just rock, and same with Foo Fighters. But then you guys get you guys sound completely different from any other band out there. You guys are doing it on your own and doing it however way you guys see fit.
Well, thank you for that. I mean, honestly, like, one of the things is like we only played with each other pretty much. And
we play with each other.
He was the butthead era.
I'm in that mindset right
because he likes throwback.
Just talking about Korn.
Well, the thing about it is like we never, like, I'm really fucking stubborn, so I never really want to make anything that sound like anybody else. And you know, we listened to all these records when we were young, right? But when we started making music, I feel like we started listening to less music and started just focusing on making it. And I don't know, we just never really, we're not the kind of people to go, we know what sound we want, we're going to go for this. We're more the kind of people that go, hey, like, John, I have this vocal part, and I remember that you made up this background. Do you think that would work? And then we try it, and then
what if you take that and then you split it in half and you reverse it?
Yeah, you split it in half, you rip it,
you know,
flip it and reverse it. But it's one of those things where we basically don't want really to go for one sound. I mean, that's okay if you want to do that, but as a person, I'm not that into it. I'd rather just experiment and accidentally find the sounds, which was why it probably takes us longer and stuff. But
right. Well, you guys achieve it because whenever Brick and Mortar is played, you know it's Brick and Mortar. You can't be like, oh, it's this person, or maybe it's this band, or maybe Shazam it to see who it is. No, when Brick and Mortar plays, you know it's Brick and Mortar.
Well, we're excited about, like, right now we're basically writing our new record. We have like over 20 demos done, and we're basically going to go and write the real record. We already have all the recording set up, everything set up to do it. So we're going to do that. We're really excited about where we're going next because I feel like I'm not hearing a lot of what we're doing, and it's very much even more genre, less of a sound, but it's very dark. And if you notice, one thing that is all the things we have picked, they have some kind of edge and some kind of dark element that I feel like not as much popular music has nowadays.
Yeah, especially right now. And I'm not too sure why there's this wave of I don't want to say like the same music.
Well, I think
there's some cool stuff coming out. You know, there's a lot of what's it called? It's where a lot of songs and bands are synonymous. You know, that they can be compared to each other a lot. You know, which we obviously we don't really prefer that.
I prefer the minimal shit coming out. Like, there's so much minimal stuff. Like if you listen to all right, here's another record. Like this record. Matt and Kim. Everything Matt and Kim does, one, it's endearing as shit because they're really two genuinely nice people.
Yeah.
and
their concerts are great too.
And I'm pretty sure that they love each other. And
I think I seen a sticker of them in very interesting positions, and they were both nude.
Well, what's cool too is, like they're really nice and engage online a lot because I have reached out to them a couple times and just like because we're like we'd love to tour with you, you know, just talking to them and they're always
that would be a great tour.
Well, they're always really nice and like hit back like yeah we'd love to make that happen somehow, you know, blah blah blah. But they're always really nice and if I had a new song or whatever I sent it to them and they always wrote us back, which was really really cool because they're a much bigger band and also they do all their music videos from what I hear or most of them and that's really cool because it's not that common to find that.
Right, absolutely.
And another band that we like that's kind of minimal, not minimal, but you know, it's something where it's
they
not.
They dropped the chill hammer.
They dropped the chill hammer. I hope Kenny and the rest of the Vacationer realizes.
Yeah, these guys, we toured with them, and this is like, you know, some of the music that we're listening to now that's come out, and they're just super cool. Like we ended up becoming really good friends with everybody.
Yeah.
Like everybody, they're the band, the crew, you know, Jen, the tour manager. So we really love these guys. We think their music is super. It's like it's really cool. Like kind of.
Well, they're really great
hazy,
songs.
like out there. Yeah, they're great songs, but it has like a hazy kind of landscape, soundscape. Whatever.
Anybody makes a song about their dog.
A lot of awesome beats.
Well, and I remember on tour, like this dog died.
Yeah.
Sorry, man.
This is old news, Kenny.
This is old news. I should have told him.
I'm that person that cries in the movie when the pet dies.
Well, well, he has this song about his dog, and I remember I just got dumped by the girl I was dating for a long time, and I had a dog. His name was Banjo, and she took the dog. I was on tour. I'm never gonna see him again. And I remember I was like tipsy, and he's playing the song, and like there's all this imagery going on, and like I was thinking about my dog, and all of a sudden I was like, what is this wet shit coming out of my eyes?
This salty discharge.
What is this? You know what I mean? But yeah, I really love everybody in Vacationer, and I love their band, and I just think their shows are really fun. And I don't know, like that song connected with me, and it was such a weird moment to cry over my dog.
No, but that's what music should do to you. It should impact you.
But now, like switching gears to ladies, I have a huge crush on MIA. I mean, she's already really awesome. She's already set. Yeah. She's got babies going on. She's done. You know, she's unattainable. But I think
you never know.
Well, I think she's awesome, and all of her music was always so like I would hear it and go, "That's MIA."
The video for Bad Girls is probably one of the coolest videos I've ever seen.
I would have to agree with you.
So dope.
Well, also it's just like come on, the whole style of this.
It's just
we
fun.
pretty much just want to be this whole style. No, just like I love the imagery, I love everything, and I also know from what I've read about her, she is very much a hard businesswoman with labels and doing things and kind of called the shots.
Yeah.
And her team is very active.
Well, you can also see that when she was on the MTV Awards, 5 years ago, 6 years ago?
Yeah, and everybody
and everybody's like, oh my goodness.
Wait, here's one thing. As a public service announcement to all kids in the world, gotta say, Okay, if you're a kid who loves Sublime, right? Let's say like Sublime is the best. I love it so much. Just so you know, most of the things that you really love, not all of them, were influenced by this man right here, Barrington Levy or Levy. But look him up. Listen to his reggae. Yeah, but I'm saying like a lot of the dub lines from his songs became big Sublime songs. Him and also Yellow Man. Sublime sampled a lot of them, but I want to do a little reggae public service announcement. Like
PSA coming at you right now. Pick it up. Well,
yeah, that's pretty much it.
And we're gonna leave and be like, oh, there was like a million more. Like we should have got a 9 Inch Nails record because we liked the production of that stuff.
Deftones, Adrenaline was
Deftones,
really good.
Adrenaline. We should have done. We should have done. I'm trying to think. We definitely should have just like done Bob Marley, but it was so generic.
The theme from Reading Rainbow, that really inspired.
That inspired me. Actually, I like the DuckTales theme better, but that's just me.
Agree to disagree.
Also, you know what's the best theme though? Growing Pains.
yes.
As long as we got each other. Yeah. But yeah, that's
prior to this, they spent maybe about 30 minutes like, oh, I remember this. Oh, you should get this one.
Yeah.
Oh, it was really enjoyable, and you could pick it up at your local record store. Hopefully, I know in Colorado Springs, if you're hanging out here, Independent Records is the place to hang out. So.
Oh, and if you guys want to get our new EP dropped, you can
Yes.
get it all over online, pretty much, like, Apple Music, iTunes Store, Spotify, anywhere that you could buy music digitally. We're setting up an online store that should be done in a month or so, and you can get physical copies, through us live.
Which is great because we all love the physical copies of everything.
Yes.
Now, really quick.
One day we'll have vinyl. One day.
Oh, you guys could do it. I believe.
Oh, we
you
want
guys.
to say before, because we were talking about the show that we're playing at the Black Sheep tonight.
Yes.
We just want to give our condolences to them because a tragic thing happened.
Rest in
and-
peace, Sizzle.
Yeah.
Sizzle impacted a lot of people in this community and in the music community.
Well, especially us, because when we first came here, they were really nice to us, and
And he made us sound awesome.
yeah, and he gave us a lot of respect too. It wasn't like, sometimes the sound guy is not nice to you.
Yeah,
But he
sound
was
guy
always
could
really
be
cool.
pretty brutal if he wanted to, but he was really nice and sweet, and he was an awesome dude.
And we just want to, give our condolences and mention that.
Thank you
Rest in
guys.
power, Chris.
Yes. So thank you guys so much for
Thank
taking
you,
the
Nomi.
time, and R.I.P. Sizzle. We love you and miss you so much, and make sure you stop by Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Make sure you request them on Alt Nation. Want to give that
Yeah.
hashtag again?
Yeah, #train, #alt18, and then just get it Alt Nation.
So make sure you don't @train on that one.
At Alt
Yeah, because then was it Jupiter swimming or something?
and come on, and if you look at All Nation, all the other bands have giant labels. We're the only one without one. We're a little guy, so you really got to do it 20 times in a row.
And one really fast last question, since you guys are independent and doing this all on your own, how could people make sure that their money is getting to you guys to support you guys?
Basically, buying stuff
At our shows.
and when we have our online store, that's going to be going directly towards us. But everything else, even buying records and stuff, still helps us out because it garners exposure and stuff like that. Not that we see much money from it, but
Not today.
we're not about the small game of money. We just want to build what we're doing so we can keep going, keep
Right.
making music.
Keep traveling, keep coming back to Colorado
Traveling.
Springs, keep making music, because we want to make sure that you guys keep going, and 'cause
Yeah.
we love you guys.
We're always going to
Yeah.
keep going because we're very stubborn. And,
We ain't gonna stop.
and I'm very sneaky,
Good.
so I always have a
Good.
plan, There's always a plan.
So, John, Brandon, Brick Mortar, thank you guys so much for taking the time
Thank
to
you.
hang out.
Thank you.
It was awesome. Man. Thank you so much.
Thank you
Thank you.
guys. Thanks.
Peace.
You did it.